Welcome back to the ARCA Menards series preview show. Yes, we're back after a week. Of course, you know that's Charlie Crawl, and of course, you should know I'm Casey Campbell. Last time.
Wait, who were you?
Wait, last time I checked, I was. Hi, Charlie. How was last week with no race?
Well, you can tell by my hair, Case. I'm a little frazzled. I need to get back to the racetrack.
Yeah. So, of course, the ARCA Menards series is heading back to Pocono. Got some storylines, of course, heading there. Of course, we got anytime we go to the Tricky Triangle, it's always good. Of course, we used to go there twice a year. So, but we're only going there once this time around. How important is it to go to the Tricky Triangle from your perspective, from the series perspective?
Well, it's important for a couple of different reasons, Casey. First and foremost, it is one of the longest running tracks on our schedule. Believe it or not, Pocono has hosted more races than every other racetrack on the schedule, with the exception of Salem and Toledo. So, it's a place that has a very big part of our history has taken place at Pocono Raceway. So it's important to us that we continue that on. Of course, those relationships that started back in the early 1980s have evolved and changed, but it's a very important place to us. It's a very traditional stop on our calendar, and looking at our entry list this weekend, I think you can see why it's so important to the drivers. There's drivers who are looking to get some very, very valuable big track experience before they go and race, whether it's in a truck or an Xfinity car, or we've even seen Cup drivers come and run these ARCA races just trying to get some additional laps at Pocono. So it's an important one for us for a lot of different reasons, but the one thing we can always count on is a very good competitive race there. We're looking forward to it on Saturday. On Friday.
I was gonna say.
Yep.
And there is a lot of racing at Pocono this weekend, of course. You guys are all alone on Friday. Actually, you guys are also going to have a test, I think a practice session test on Thursday. And I know that's going to help a lot.
Yeah, it's just another opportunity for some of these young drivers to get out there and make some laps. The last thing we want to have is someone who is making their, very first start on a big track to kind of get thrown to the wolves. So we want to get them out there, get them comfortable. Pocono, they don't call it the Tricky Triangle for nothing. It's a pretty challenging track with three very different corners, and we just want to get everybody up to speed, and it's very helpful to get that additional track time on Thursday.
Yeah, of course. So we kind of look at of who's going to be in the field. I think obviously the standouts, of course, Ty Gibbs, Corey Hine, Thad Moffitt, Nick Sanchez, the guys that you usually see every week. But there is one name that is making his return to the ARCA Menards series this weekend, and I think we're both pretty excited about this one. Sam Mayer is back. Of course, going to make his Xfinity Series debut on Sunday, one day after his birthday, after his 18th birthday. And of course, one day before, he's going to be trying to get an ARCA win. This time, we're driving for Brett Holmes Racing. I know we both know Sam pretty well. How exciting is it to have him back?
Well, Sam is just a quality race car driver. So anytime we can get another good quality driver in our field, we're always happy to have that. Personally, Sam he's a terrific young guy. He brings a lot of energy along with him. He brings a lot of fans with him.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. We're looking forward to having him back. He's going to be driving the 23 car for Brett Holmes Racing. Obviously that's the team that won the championship last year. I think we'd like to see that 23 car with us each and every week again, but I know what they're doing. They're kind of spreading themselves out between ARCA and trucks, and when they come to race, they're coming out to win. And I got to tell you, I think they're going to have a great shot at it. They've got really good equipment. They've got a great young driver behind the wheel, and yeah, I think it would be cool. A lot of people don't remember this. They've actually scored a win at Pocono in the past with Grant Enfinger behind the wheel.
Really?
So
I didn't know
yeah, so Grant won there back in 2016, and that was in the 23 car that was, I don't know why, I don't remember the story of why Brett wasn't driving. I know Grant obviously was coming in off of his 2015 championship with GMS, and
Mhm.
they had bought a bunch of equipment from GMS, but yeah, Grant was driving for Brett Holmes Racing back in 2016 when he won there. So it's not unprecedented to see that 23 car in victory lane at Pocono.
You gonna make more bets with Sam?
You can.
Yeah, we just gonna we if you want to talk, we talked to Sam last week. Go check out my podcast on that. So yeah, we'll find out if I'll have to get out more stuff. But anyway, there's also going to be some other guy. Of course, at 17 years old, you can make your debut at Pocono. We're going to see that with a few drivers this week.
Yeah, we always have a pretty good group of young drivers making their debut. Whether it's drivers who have raced on the short tracks but not the big tracks, or whether it's just drivers coming out and making their first ever career start. I'm actually looking forward to seeing Stephanie Moyer come and run with us. She's had a couple of pretty decent runs in that ARCA Menards Series East for Andy Hillenberg, and she's making her first ARCA Menards Series start here this weekend at Pocono. So I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah, I know there's going to be some others that haven't yet been announced yet. So we'll obviously keep.
Well, we can't talk about them until they're announced, Casey.
Well, I was going to say stay tuned.
Yeah, you always want to jump the gun on me there, buddy.
Yeah, I tend to do that. So obviously there's going to be some guys that we'll get to, but what we can talk about is what Ty Gibbs has been able to do. He's going to be the defending winner of this race. We talked about he's had some challengers, and there's going to be the big challenger this week. Of course, always we talk about Ty Gibbs and Sam Mayer. We always like to put them together, and I think every racing fan has enjoyed those two going at it. They have a lot of respect for each other on the racetrack, and it's always good. And I think they've also made each other better as well. How have you seen the growth of both Ty and Sam?
Well, I think watching these two come up racing against each other has been a lot of fun. And at one time we had a little stat that we updated each and every week, who beat who on the racetrack. And, it was pretty close. I think, at one point in time, whether it was, the East or the West, or, the ARCA Menards Series, they had finished first or second, something like 10 or 12 times. And, Sam had half of them and Ty had half of them. It was pretty close. They definitely are. What I like about it is it's a friendly rivalry.
Yeah,
there's a lot of respect there. They definitely want to beat each other on the racetrack, but they're not. There's no hatred there. It's just competitive, which is good to see. I'm really looking forward to seeing how this plays out for Ty this weekend, because he's going for something that hasn't been done since 1997 with Tim Steele and going back to back to back to back to back. It's 5 of them.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since that's happened, and it's only happened 6 times in ARCA's history. So if he can pull this one off, he's in position to make some history. So we'll have to see how that happens. Sam picked a great week to come back because he doesn't need a lot of motivation to come out and win races anyhow. But I know if someone is going to stop that Ty Gibbs win train, Sam Mayer definitely wants to be the guy to do it. So there's going to be a lot of great storylines to look at this weekend.
Of course. We also kind of talked about this with when one driver particularly wins all of the time, it's interesting how people perceive that as. People think it's, people like seeing, some people like seeing one guy win all the time. Others are like, oh, why does he just doesn't let other people win and all that stuff? What is it? How do you like, trying to figure out what I want to say here. How do you perceive that as? Like, with greatness over, variety and stuff is.
Well, I'm first and foremost, Casey, I'm a race fan,
Yeah.
and I like to see everybody go out and win. It's a perfect season for me would be 20 races and 20 winners,
Yeah.
That said, what Ty is doing is incredible. It's amazing to watch, just to see the dominance that he has exhibited from time to time. He's an incredible talent, and someone we're going to have to keep an eye on for a very long time. I envision him being in the Cup Series sooner than later, and he's going to be celebrating some pretty big wins. And years from now, we're going to be able to look back and say, hey, remember when he was doing this in the ARCA deal? And we had, he was doing that with us. So, it's a double-edged sword, but as someone who really understands how hard it is to win one race, because it's a really hard thing to even win one of these things. To see what he's doing is absolutely it's record breaking, it's noteworthy, it's all of those things. It's something that doesn't happen all the time, and
Right.
To see it happening right now, I think it is kind of cool to just step back and say, hey, we're seeing some history being made here.
Yeah, we got and of course you talk about that Tim's first one to win 5 in a row. That, of course, I don't know when that's ever been done. I know it's been done a few times. Hey, go ahead. Yeah.
It happened twice in 1961 by the same driver, Harold Smith. Won 5 in a row 2 times in 1961. Jack Bowser won 5 in a row 2 times in 1965. Bruce Gould did it back in 1973, and Tim Steele did it in 1997. There you have it.
And of course, there's also another one of Tim Steele's record. I'm not sure if this has been brought up to Ty, but that modern era win record that we talked about a few weeks ago, which is set at 12.
12, yeah.
Yep. He can't get the overall win record. That's 19.
That darn Corey Haim winning 2 races. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, but speaking of Corey Haim, really, really another one that's impressive. Even though, yes, he hasn't won as much as Ty has, I've seen a big improvement out of Corey this year.
Well, I mean, he won his first race last year at Kansas, and he's really hasn't missed a beat. He's, as strong as Veterini Motorsports has been over the years, competing against Joe Gibbs Racing is a tough thing. It's a big organization with a lot of resources. VMS has done a great job. Their cars are right there. But I'd like I said, as a race fan, I'd like to see a different winner every week. Personally, I'd like to see the VMS cars get in there and make a run at this championship. Make Ty work for it. That's good for the storylines. It's good for the, I think the fans in the stands get a little excited when someone has to work for it. But yeah, absolutely would like to see Corey get in there and get a couple more wins and keep Ty honest.
Yeah, but we'll have to see on that. It's the General Tire Anywhere is Possible 200 this Friday at 6 p.m. Our good friends at FS1 are going to be calling the action from Pocono. Always good to see them, and always good to see General Tire. Of course, I have General Tires on my car as well.
Yeah, good.
I do. So, and don't forget to vote for the Reese's Sweet Move of the race. That's
right.
also very important.
That's
you
right.
can get your Reese's cups at your local Menards too.
You can get Reese's cups there. You can get your Hearst potato chips, your Calypso lemonade. You can find it all there.
Find it all at Menards and save big money. And that's what you did last week, saving big money at Menards. That's what you do.
I save big money at Menards all the time, Casey.
Yes, you do. All right. Well, Charlie, thank you so much. That's going to do it for this ARCA Menards Series preview show. Tune in 2 weeks. Well, next week we get to talk some ARCA West at Irwindale.
It's going to be good. Looking forward to it.
Yep. Talk to you then.